I was starving and lost in the woods until I found a hiker. I am full now. I just wished he hadn't screamed so loud. I have a recurring dream I'm murdered by a man I'd never met. I thought it was stupid until I went on a blind date and saw him at the table. The upstairs neighbors are awfully noisy. I told my landlord, it's been vacant for months. If you get scared at night, don't keep your eyes closed for too long. There's a reason you're scared, and now you can't see it approach. My girlfriend is scared of horror movies. They make her paranoid, which can be tricky when I'm watching her through her living room window. My husband woke me up by kissing my cheek when he got home late. This morning I checked my phone. He stayed with a friend last night. I used a Ouija board yesterday, but I only asked one question and put it away. I got my answer today, written in blood on my ceiling. Got a haunted doll in the mail today. If only I could find where she ran off to. He drove away from there as fast as he could. A voice from the back seat said, "Leaving so soon?" I kept hearing a strange giggle coming from my TV, regardless of what channel it was on. I never thought to check behind the TV. Put back the mirrors, we miss watching you. When I finally grabbed her in the darkness, I began to swim back to the surface. It never occurred to me how fast the ice could freeze over. I can hear 1 year into the future. Today, the noise stopped. You start to drift off into a peaceful sleep when you hear your name being whispered. You live alone. I was having a pleasant dream when what sounded like hammering woke me. After that, I could barely hear the muffled sound of dirt covering the coffin over my own screams. It's been watching me for hours now. Sometimes I catch glimpses of it in the computer screen's reflection, but I dare not turn around. After so many years of living alone, I came to a startling revelation. I had closed far more doors than I had opened. Sleep did not come easy for me that night in the cabin in the woods. All the frames on the wall portrayed the decrepit and damned. Sleep never came easily ever again. For when I woke, I found no frames, only windows. Know that full body twitch you get sometimes when you fall asleep? If there was a camera pointed at you and you saw what it captured at that moment, you would never sleep again. They celebrated the first cryogenic freezing. There was no way of letting them know he was still conscious. There's nothing quite like the laughter of a baby, unless it's 1 a.m. and you're home alone. They delivered the mannequins in bubble wrap. From the front of the store, I began to hear popping. Look for the monsters under your bed, behind your dresser, in your closet. But never look up. She hates being seen. The longer I wore it, the more it grew on me. She had such pretty skin. I haven't seen my mother in 20 years. She says if I disobey her again, she'll take my hearing too. I can't sleep, she whispered, crawling into bed with me. I woke up cold, clutching the dress she was buried in. Growing up with cats and dogs, I got used to the sounds of scratching at my door while I slept. Now that I live alone, it is much more unsettling. The doctors told the amputee he might experience a phantom limb from time to time. Nobody prepared him for the moments, though, when he felt cold fingers brush across his phantom hand. You hear your mom calling you into the kitchen. As you are heading down the stairs, you hear a whisper from the closet saying, "Don't go down there, honey." I heard it too. The last thing I saw was my alarm clock, flashing 12:07, before she pushed her long, rotting nails through my chest, her other hand muffling my screams. I sat bolt upright, relieved it was only a dream, but as I saw my alarm clock read 12:06, I heard my closet door creak open. I awoke to the sound of the baby monitor, crackling with a voice comforting my firstborn baby. As I adjusted to a new position. My arm brushed up against my sleeping wife. My driver wasn't very chatty, so I checked my phone. "Hey, it's your Uber. I'm outside." People always tell me I look like my mother. I guess you are what you eat. I always thought my cat had a staring problem. She always seemed fixated on my face, until one day I realized that she was always looking right behind me. When I smiled, he did not smile back. Something is wrong with this mirror. My parents used to drop off my animals in the woods far away from our home without food or water when they were old and sick. As we got closer to the area, my frail, weak mother asked, "Why are we taking a detour?" I kiss my wife and daughter goodnight before going to bed. When I wake up, I'm in a padded room, and the nurse tells me it was all just a dream. There's a picture of me sleeping in my phone from last night. I live alone. The last man on earth sat alone. There was a knock at the door. My sister called to tell me she was home from her work trip. She was murdered while she was away. I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first I thought it was the window, until I heard it come from the mirror again. I can't move, speak, breathe, or hear, and it's so dark all the time. If I would have known it was going to be this lonely, I would have gotten cremated instead. You get home, tired from a long day at work, ready for a relaxing evening alone. You reach for the light switch, but another hand is already there. He asked why I was breathing so loudly. I wasn't.
My sister says that Mommy killed her. Mommy says I don't have a sister.
The grinning face stared at me from the darkness beyond my window. I live on the 14th floor. "Please take me instead," I scream, grabbing at the two men that took my child. "Sorry, children only," they said as they continued to load the last lifeboat on the ship. I've decided to kill off a few characters in the book I'm writing. It will definitely spice up my autobiography a little.
Grandma is a great dancer. Mom says she has been dead for years, but I see her dancing in the basement all the time.
My daughter won't stop crying and screaming in the middle of the night. I visit her grave to ask her to stop, but it doesn't seem to help.
Thank you for watching Mr. Grimm's Terrifying Tales. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more scary stories and caught-on-camera footage.